Hey y'all, welcome back to the DG Outdoors. Now today's video, guys, I have a special video for you. I was laying over there watching hunting videos. I'm like, why don't I tell you guys some of my success stories that I've had and show you guys some of my trophies. Now I only have 2 mounts over here, but I'll have pictures at the end of squirrels that I've shot and big fish that I caught and a rabbit that I shot, things like that. To start out with the earliest trophy that I have. Okay, this is my 8-point buck rack. My Uncle John's actually a taxidermist in Iowa, and he mounted this for me. And I found both of these sheds in a combine in cornfield. Now, the thing that's funny about this, I remember being 9, 10 years old, having to push mow my parents' yard, and across the fence from where we lived was a huge cornfield. And I spotted two. Now that I think back on it, it had to have been a God thing because 2 of these tines were just sticking up. Okay, in a combine and cornfield in like June. And in order to find both of these in prime condition like this is really hard to do. I remember hopping over the fence. I think it was like the neighbor's fence or something, and picked up one shed, and there was the other one. And then I knew I had to go get these things mounted. And for an Indiana whitetail, this thing's really big. I never actually scored it before, but I guarantee it scored probably in the 130s, 140s, Pope and Young. And I always liked the emblem that my uncle put on there for me, because I remember going to his taxidermist shop and picking them up. Now, my uncle mounts for like Drury Outdoors and all those guys. He's really, really good at what he does. And his name's John Jones, okay? I can't remember the name of his newest taxidermy shop, but he has like 5 people working underneath him. But this is my buck rack that I have. Pretty cool looking. It always hangs on my wall, but right now it's up in the attic because there's not a lot of room in here. But when I was 9 years old, I found both of these in a combine and cornfield. And it's just beautiful. Can't say much about my buck. Okay. Now, the squirrel that I have right here, my cousin actually mounted it for me, and he's from Freedom, Indiana, and he learned how to do taxidermy underneath my uncle. But this is my fox squirrel. It's one of the biggest fox squirrels I ever shot. If you guys notice, there is a nut hanging out of its mouth. I actually wanted a full acorn, but I wanted him sitting up on a limb and eating an acorn, but this works too. The tail on this thing is huge. I shot this probably 2018, I'm guessing. I can't exactly remember. I think it was 2018 on the Owen Putnam State Forest. Okay, with a 20 gauge. And when I shot it, its nose was bloody. So I don't think I ever actually hit it. I think it smacked its head off the tree and died. But I actually got this thing mounted. If you guys notice, his hands should look like this. His paw's missing through the moves. They got busted or broke or something. No big deal. You know, these are really fragile right here. And they are really, really sharp. Like one of these things will busted right here. This is cool. I hang it up on the wall by this thing right here. But he was a big male fox squirrel. Okay. And that season, I remember I said, the first squirrel I shoot's gonna get mounted. I had another squirrel mounted before this, and I called her Sally the squirrel. She fell off the wall and broke, and I actually got rid of her. The taxidermist didn't do a very good job. It was the first squirrel I ever got mounted, and she was a gray squirrel. So this one hangs up on my wall too. So this is my squirrel mount. You guys don't know, the most squirrels I've shot in one season is 14. Okay. And I shoot a squirrel almost every squirrel season. Last year I shot one. Okay. And I shot it with the 20 gauge. And it actually had a walnut in its mouth whenever I shot it. And at the end of this video, I will show a picture. We call it the Last Supper. Okay. And let me go get this picture. Okay. And I'll talk about the biggest fish I ever caught and how I did it. And then we will talk about my first rabbit that I shot and how that happened. And I've only shot 2 rabbits in my lifetime. Okay, let me pause this. Alright, y'all, so this is the biggest bass I ever caught. I caught him, or her, I'm not even sure, at Shakamak State Park in Jasonville, Indiana, off the boat ramp in March. Okay, I caught it on a Guggen Baits Slim Shake rubber worm, blue and black flake color. Okay, it was a last cast scenario. When it actually came in, it didn't fight or anything. It was so lethargic, it just came in like this, and I caught it. Public waters, behind the pool. Okay, if you guys look close enough, you see my rod, because it was a 2-piece rod, slipped out and I didn't know it whenever I took the picture. And at the time, if I would have known, I would have took better pictures, because I could have entered it into Fish of the Year award for the state and measured. I'm guessing she's over 5 pounds. We're not even sure, at least 25 inches long, but the proof is in the picture. Okay. And one of the last pictures that I have that I will show at the end of this video, I'll try to get a decent clip out of one of my old videos from an intro that I did, was the first rabbit I ever shot. The first rabbit I ever shot, actually, it had snowed. Okay, we were off of school, or no, I was with a buddy. Alright, we said we were going to go rabbit hunting. And where my mom and dad's house set used to be a trailer. Well, behind there was dog pens, and it had overgrown. Well, I'd seen rabbit tracks, so we tracked the rabbit up through there, right? And he kicked it up, and I went rabbit, went boom, and it stopped, and I shot it again. And that was my first rabbit, and the only rabbit I ever shot off my parents' property. The thing about rabbits on my parents' property, I think the coyotes get them, because they used to have cats too, and but I think the coyotes keep it down. You only ever see like 1 or 2 hanging around on the property. So for me to shoot one on my mom and dad's property was kind of cool. I'll have a picture of that. And then the second rabbit that I shot was, actually, I went with a group of guys, and they had beagles, and the beagles were running the rabbits, and I saw the rabbit come over this hill. I was standing there, and pop, before I ever started the YouTube channel. And I was the only one to shoot a rabbit at about 40 yards there. So that was cool. And then I've shot a raccoon before. My dogs treat it. They were outside dogs. They treated it up there, and I shot it out of the tree. Made a cool pelt out of it. But guys, those are my trophies. You know, I've caught a lot of fish. Nothing that tops this, but I'm still excited as the day I caught this. This is my trophy bass. This is my trophy squirrel right here. Okay. And she's real soft. And of course, my Indiana 8-point buck whitetail. This thing looks huge. So guys, let me go find that picture of that rabbit to put in this video, and the picture of the last supper squirrel that I got. And y'all remember, like, comment, subscribe. Jesus loves you. And I will see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.